Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. You have made it once again to another episode of Pickup Lines. It is still the talk show in a car. And if there ever was a guest who would appreciate this show being in a car, it is Pam Crail, who, among other things, heads up the San Antonio Auto Dealers Association. What is your official title?
President.
You are the president, city president.
Yes.
So, again, I've had almost 200 guests in this car, and I wonder if any of them would appreciate being in a vehicle more than you. Like cars are your life, right?
Cars are actually the business of selling cars is my life.
Okay.
Right. But cars, yes, absolutely.
That's fast. And
car dealers.
We'll get into all of that here in just a little bit. But as people who watch this show know, or hopefully you know by now, I typically like to start at the beginning, work our way, kind of like a road trip. You start at the beginning, maybe you stop for snacks along the way, and then you end up at where you want to be.
All right.
Like so many people who have sat in this seat over the years, you've been in San Antonio for a while, but you were not born here.
I was not. I was born in Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas. So tell me about a little bitty Pam running around in the wheat fields of Kansas or wherever that was in Wichita. What was that like for you growing up?
So I was born in Wichita, Kansas. My father worked for a food distribution company,
yes,
Fleming. And so I had three siblings, two older brothers and an older sister. And there were not wheat fields. It was basically a nice little neighborhood.
I've seen too many movies, I guess.
The walk to school in the snow, the whole...
That was real.
It was real, yeah.
I've been to Wichita once, many, many years ago, to cover a minor league hockey game.
Oh.
Of all things. Had a wonderful time. And I had this sandwich. It was like a sloppy Joe sandwich. I can't remember. A New Way? Does that sound familiar?
No.
Okay. It was like the guy I was with was from Kansas, but enough about me. The show is not about me. This is about Pam. So you were there, but you ended up coming to Texas when you were what, 8?
8.
You went to Austin first.
I did.
Was it your parents or the job or what moved?
My father was transferred to Austin. And it's funny because being 8 years old and you think about Texas and not having really traveled at the age of 8, I imagined everyone in sombreros and, dirt streets. I thought I was moving to Mexico.
Everyone's on horseback. And
exactly.
Yes. Howdy or hola or whatever.
Yes, exactly. I had no idea what
Austin is not, there's some of that, but.
Very little.
Yeah. So when you got there, was it like a culture shock then?
It was a little bit of a culture shock, but I make friends easily.
Yes.
So we kind of fell into that. I think I was in the 5th grade when we moved there, or the 3rd grade, excuse me.
Okay. So if I'm doing the math correctly, you were there for a little while, for a few years, I guess, because
Correct.
You ultimately went to high school here in town, or in Schertz, I should say. You went to Clemens.
Correct.
So how did you end up in Schertz?
Again, my father was transferred, so we followed him. He was transferred several times, and we always, of course, followed him. But we wound up in Schertz. I was a Samuel Clemens Buffalo.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you had adjusted, or you'd gotten kind of the Austin scene, and then you're moving to San Antonio.
Yes.
What did you think about San Antonio when you heard about that?
Well, we actually moved to Schertz. And at that time, many years ago, Schertz was much smaller. It still was sort of a bedroom community for San Antonio.
Yeah.
But coming into San Antonio, we didn't do that a whole lot in the beginning. So what I
it wasn't as developed. Schertz wasn't as developed back then. That must have felt like
a small town.
Yeah, that must have felt like way
absolutely.
out of the city limits.
Yeah, it did. It really
compared
did.
to what it is now.
Yeah.
And construction continues even as we speak.
Oh, goodness. On 1604.
Yes. Now, are you still out in that area?
I am. I'm north of 1604 now. So
okay. So you know all about
I do.
The construction and everything.
Oh, I
just
deal
a way
with
of life.
Every morning.
Well, that's no different than being in Austin.
True. The traffic is not really much different.
35. Oh, God. 35. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So you went to Clemens, and then ultimately after that, what happened after Clemens?
My father was transferred again to Austin again.
Back to
Austin.
Okay.
So I moved back to Austin with my parents.
Were you thrilled about that? Because now you're a teenager. Now you're what, 18?
I was 18, and I think I was okay with it.
Okay.
I liked change. Change was good.
Well, Austin's not a bad place to be for a teenage.
Yes, Austin was a great place to live.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
Fun.
Okay. So how long were you there did you go to UT?
I did not. I spent time going to Austin Community College.
Yep.
I took some classes at what used to be Southwest Texas. It's now Texas State.
Texas State. Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Got involved in working and kind of just got involved in the whole working atmosphere and community, and moved from job to job, trying to sort of find myself at that point.
So what are you had some odd jobs or?
I did.
Part-time?
I worked for an insurance agent. I
Yeah.
worked for an insurance company, a larger insurance company. I worked for an engineering firm, did the various things. And then I wound up, through connections that
Yeah.
I made, I wound up working part-time in the Texas House of Representatives. And from there, made more connections and more friends, and was offered full-time in the Texas Senate.
Obviously, the Capitol's right there in Austin, so that's
Yes.
pretty convenient.
Yes.
What drew you to that? Because that's a whole other animal.
It's just so fascinating. I mean, I was fascinated. Just the part-time work that I was doing kind of gave me just a taste of the whole atmosphere inside the Capitol. And I decided I sort of wanted to pursue that.
This is now time frame mid-'80s, '90s. When is this?
It was, yes, in the 80s. Yes.
Okay. So I'm trying to remember who was governor at the time.
Let's see.
Because I know Ann Richards was in there in the '90s.
I was there when Ann Richards was there.
Okay.
I was there when, let's see. I can't remember.
No, that's okay.
I'm not trying to Ann Richards. It's terrible.
This is not a test.
It's not a test. Okay.
You're not being scored on this.
And I was also there for a period of time when George Bush was.
I was going to say, I should know off the top of my head who all the governors were going back. But I remember just Ann Richards, obviously growing up, George W. Bush, and then Rick Perry and Greg Abbott, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So did you ever have any run-ins with Governor Richards?
I did. I actually worked on a health policy task force for her. And we didn't see a lot of her, but when we would have our big meetings, she would show up for those meetings.
I met her one time. I had a distant relative who was the railroad commissioner when Governor Richards was in office. Mm-hmm. And I remember going to the inauguration, and I just couldn't believe, I was a kid looking up at the rotunda and oh my gosh.
It's amazing. The Capitol looks very different now than it did then, I can tell you.
Sure. No,
they didn't have the extension whenever I was working in the Capitol. So all of the I was working for several different Senate committees, and the committees would all be in the basement, and there would be office after office of Senate committees, and we worked in very tight quarters.
When the security now is next level. I mean, it's nothing like what it was back in those days. It was a much more innocent time.
Definitely.
That's another topic for another day. But anyway, we're just getting started. It's a good place to take a little time out here with Pam Crail with the San Antonio Auto Dealers Association, ahead of the annual San Antonio Auto Show, which is happening at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. We'll take a quick break. Be right back here on Pickup Lines. Don't go away. All right, back here on Pickup Lines with Pam Crail with the San Antonio Auto Dealers Association. And I know you know a thing or two about cars, so I hope this is a suitable environment for you. Have you ever done a talk show or an interview in a car?
I have not.
Okay.
It's the first.
Well, I tell people we're not moving. We're not buckled up. If the car moves on Pickup Lines, something's wrong, but we're not going anywhere here. So you were talking about your work at the Texas Senate or at the Capitol in Austin and everything. By that time, had automobiles, this world, automotive industry come into your life at all?
So whenever I worked for the Texas Economic Development Committee, the Senate Economic Development Committee, there were bills that went through. One of my responsibilities was always to set the bills for hearing, take votes in the committees. I would take votes, et cetera. And we would see automotive bills come through. We would see during the committee hearings, Gene Fondren, who was the president of the Texas Automobile Dealers Association at the time, would be testifying. So I had some a little bit of experience with them.
But at that time, I mean, did you know what you wanted to do? Like, what do you want to be when you grow up type stuff?
I didn't. I was fascinated by all that was going on in the Capitol. I loved it. It's sort of another world, and especially during a legislative session, you're working 17-hour days and you're just blinded, right? That's all you know. You're outside,
in your zone.
Your outside life doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And through all of the committee hearings and hearing from all of the different people from interest groups, who were trying to get bills passed and their issues. I was interested. I saw how it worked from the side of the Capitol.
Yeah.
I sort of wanted to see how it worked from the other side, how these interest groups moved their issues forward, and how they created, the relationships that they created with, elected officials, etc.
Right. But not to run for office yourself.
Absolutely not.
That didn't take long.
No.
You didn't have to think about it.
Absolutely not.
And that's still, you've never thought, I wish I would have.
I don't.
That was never
No.
interested you.
No.
Okay.
I like to be in the background watching.
Fair enough. Okay, so you were in Austin for a while there. How long? You spent a while there at the Capitol.
Almost 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, and then what was it that ultimately lured you away?
Well, the senator that I was working for at the time lost his race. So I was trying to figure out what I kind of wanted to do next, and the opportunity came up at the State Auto Dealer Association, working for Gene Fondren.
Okay.
And so I thought that would be a great jumping off point.
Yeah. So you talked about was it the Texas Automobile Dealers Association? How do you explain to the layperson, what is that? What is the significance of those organizations?
So it is an organization that represents all of the franchise new car dealers in Texas.
Okay.
And basically advocating for their issues, their interests, watching all of the other things. It's both, playing offense and defense. So they would like to get some things changed in the law that would be beneficial for them, but they also are trying to keep other things from happening that would harm them or harm their business.
Okay, and could you what would be an example of one or two things that...
Oh, taxes are always an issue,
okay, well,
but,
yeah.
so franchise laws are a very big deal for dealers, right? So that is the relationship that they have with the manufacturer. And it's sort of a love-hate relationship. The manufacturers really need the dealers because that's how they get their product out.
Right.
And the dealers need to get their product from the manufacturers. So for the most part, the relationships are good.
Yeah.
But on occasion, dealers feel like they need a little extra protection.
And that's what you're there for.
Correct.
I see. So being the president, you're the president of the San Antonio Auto Dealers Association.
Right.
Is that, you serve that for a certain term length, or you can do that for life, or how does that work?
So I've been there 17 years now.
What?
Yes, which seems like just yesterday that I came there. But there are 7 metro associations around the state.
Yeah.
And I'm one of 7. We are not directly tied to the state association, meaning that they don't run our associations, but we are all collaborative. So we all work together on the same issues. During the legislative session, all the metro associations come together and lobby for their for the dealers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's mid to late November in San Antonio, which usually means the San Antonio Auto Show is back. Cassandra Lazenby, I was there last year. Cassandra sat in this chair, and we had a wonderful time there at the convention center. What is your role as the auto show happens here in town? What are you doing that weekend?
So obviously the San Antonio Auto Dealer Association produces the annual auto show. So it is basically, it's very different now than it used to be, because in years past, it just came together very easily.
Right.
Now it's a lot more work, and the work starts where it used to be able to be put together in a couple of months. The work starts about 7 months out. So, I have an amazing staff. So we are working with the manufacturers, working with our dealers, getting our exhibits put together, working with Tanya, our PR team. And, we're just doing all the things that put an event together.
And it's just, it's almost like sensory overload, and the cars are obviously unbelievable and amazing.
They're beautiful.
Do you have a specific thing that is your favorite aspect of the auto show?
I do. I love it when the kids come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the kids come in and they sit in the cars, because they can come in and sit in all the different cars and pretend like they're driving. And we have so many pictures.
All the batteries are discoscted or whatever, everything. So nobody's...
The cars cannot move.
Exactly. Exactly.
But that's always fun to watch.
Yeah.
It
is good people watching, and like you said, the kids, their jaws drop and everything when you see that. What do you do for fun in terms of as much as you can tell us about your personal life, just to kind of get away from it all, or are cars part of what you do for fun as well?
Well, my husband and I love to travel. So sometimes we drive. So obviously a car is involved in that.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we fly. So traveling is a big part of what we enjoy doing.
What's the last cool place you went to?
I just got back in October, from Big Sky, Montana. And it was so beautiful. And we had not been there before. First snow of the season happened while we were there. It was beautiful. It was just amazing. There's so many places in the United States that are just jaw-droppingly beautiful.
I don't travel that often, but I'm reminded of that by people who do. And I've seen pictures, and I mean, I can only imagine what it must be like this time of year.
It's beautiful. We travel all the time. So we try to go someplace every month, like for a long weekend.
Good for you. Yeah. Good for you. Okay. Are all your family members into cars in the auto world like you are?
No, they're really not. I have extended my brothers and my sister, my mother, all live in Austin. Okay. I have 3 children, bonus children who are here. One is in Austin, 2 are in New Braunfels, and then my husband and I here in San Antonio. So it's all spread around. I have a teacher, a doctor of I can't even think of it.
That's okay.
Occupational therapy.
There you go.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And a merchant marine.
Oh, wow, super cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. But I mean, you must be a wealth of knowledge as it relates to cars, right?
Yes.
Because I'm not.
To some extent.
To be clear, like I'm not.
To some extent. I mean, I'm all about my dealers, right? I'm all about our membership.
Yeah.
And we have some 81, I believe, members. So that's 81 rooftops. But dealer-wise, that means only about 16 actual dealers that own all 82 of those rooftops.
So a lot of the people we see, April Zancira has been on the show, Jose Luis Contreras, people who are big time, you see them on the TV commercials all the time. You probably have personal relationships.
Right. Both of those individuals are on my board.
Yes.
They're on my board. So yes, April's amazing. Jose's, they're both. I mean, our dealers are just a really great group of people, honestly.
I don't think I've been around them enough to know, the Benson family, others who have been big, Mark Cross, those, again, you see them on the TV commercials a lot of times, that how much they work, how much time they've put into this. It's a thankless job sometimes. I don't know that people realize, April Zancira obviously puts herself out there. She does a lot of philanthropic stuff too.
She does.
But I mean, it's a lot on their plate.
It's a lot. And even though it's a lot on their plate, just business-wise, they're all amazing business people. That I learn something new about the dealer business like every day. It is so complex, and there are so many rules and regulations and things that they have to keep in mind as they're doing their business. But the other thing about our dealers here is, in some of the other larger metro associations, there are a lot of public companies that own dealerships.
Right.
Here in San Antonio, the majority, we have, I think, 2 or 3 public companies, but the majority of the dealerships here are privately owned or family-owned businesses.
Correct.
So they're generational. Some of them are 4th generation.
Yeah.
And they've been in the community for forever, and they love the community. They give back to the community.
Right.
They're amazing. They're just a bunch of amazing people.
I'm going to stop you right there because I want to pick that up when we come right back.
Okay.
I was just going to go there, and I'm glad you did. We'll be right back. Pam Crail here talking all things automotive, the San Antonio Auto Dealers Association, of course, the SA Auto Show underway in San Antonio. We'll be right back with more. Don't go away. All right, a few more minutes here with Pam Crail, the president of the San Antonio Auto Dealers Association, just to pick up on what you were talking about a moment ago, because I was just saying, like the Zancira, K-Lig Auto Group, the Benson family, a lot of these, like you said, have been around for generations. And I wonder is that the case in other major cities? And why is it that these families, these groups have been able to stay relevant and together for many, many decades?
That's a very good question. And it's not typical in the other cities. Possibly there are more family businesses in the Valley than there are public companies, but Houston or Dallas, any of the larger markets, there are a lot of public companies there. So there are not as many family-owned businesses. Here in San Antonio, you've got the Cavenders, the Anceras.
The Cavenders, thank you.
Well, I mean,
Forgot
they're
about them.
truly, Cavenders are fourth generation now. I mean, they
And
have
that's several
people
family
coming in.
members now running
Coming
that,
in,
and great people, by the way.
They are, and it's funny because I knew Rick and Steven's dad from whenever I worked at the state association, right? And their grandfather actually started that business. So it is pretty amazing, and it's the way they feel about the community because they've been here for so long. And the community is, been good to their family. Their family has been really amazing to the community.
I hung out with Rob and Lee have been on this show, and people who know they opened up Grande Ford. I think they just celebrated their 1-year anniversary. Used to be Splashtown.
Yes.
And now it's a sprawling, magnificent. I mean, some of these showrooms with the amenities and stuff, it's phenomenal. It's not quite an amusement park like Splashtown, but they do a really good job.
It's true. A lot of it's very different now than it even was 17 years ago as far as what the dealerships look, what the stores all look like, right? Because they've gotten bigger. They're very modern. They're very,
there's cappuccino machines.
There's everything. Massages.
At North Park Lexus, you get your shoes shined.
Yes.
And you get a back massage. And get an espresso coffee.
That's right. It's
while you get
service.
your oil change or whatever the case may be. But they have to do that, right? I mean, they have to.
That is another way in which I think dealers are so amazing.
Yeah.
And they are evolving always to take care of their customers. How
difficult do you think it is for them right now, given just the state of the world, the tariffs and the economy and the political landscape and all those things?
I actually had that conversation recently with one of my dealers, and I said, what is the biggest issue that you all are having right now? And, he said tariffs are an issue, inventory, because they stocked up so much before the tariffs went into effect. But, personnel is a big issue for them, and getting people auto techs in, it's difficult to find talent to come in and do that. Auto dealerships, jobs we did an economic survey years ago.
Right.
We're doing a new one. The average employee in a dealership makes $90,000. The average salary in a dealership is $90,000.
That's not bad.
That's not a bad
at all.
No,
a lot of people would take that.
And they have employees. Some of these dealerships have employees that have been there for 40 plus years.
That's an excellent point. You're exactly right.
So, that tells you what the environment is like and what it's like to work for a lot of
Well, I think to your
people.
point, a lot of these dealerships that are owned by families, you have that familial atmosphere as opposed to a corporate.
I think so, yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
It's accurate.
But no, I think you're definitely onto something there. Obviously, we've got the local connection with the Toyota plant and some of that happening here. Do you anticipate more of that as San Antonio grows and it expands? And
we hope so.
Yeah.
We hope so.
Is that part of what you do, is like trying to attract manufacturers? And
no, we have not really been involved at the association level in that.
Yeah.
It's more of a government city type.
So what should we be on the lookout for? I don't know if you can break any news here or anything, or let us in on any secrets, but what would be something on your radar that would get a lot of people's attention, do you think, in the coming years?
Oh gosh, I'm telling you, it's so ever evolving.
Yeah.
It is hard to say. Every day, there's some new little tidbit that comes out in automotive news, or, but I don't have I don't have a globe.
I tried. You don't have a crystal ball.
I don't have a crystal ball.
So let me ask you this, because we're sitting in an electric car right now.
Yes.
Electric cars are here to stay, and will there be a day when the gasoline powered car is a thing of the past?
Possibly.
Not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon, but I think possibly. I think that we're going to see more hybrids probably.
Yeah.
For a while, the electric sale of electric cars has kind of gone down a little bit, or it hasn't increased as much as everyone thought. But I think that kind of remains to be seen. I think that everything is sort of iffy right now in the landscape about where that's headed.
All right. Well, I guess lastly, I'll end with this. With your vast wealth of knowledge of automobiles, if somebody were to ask for your recommendation, Pam, I've got this much money and I need to buy a car. I'm going to put it down to purchase a new or a used vehicle. That's like asking which is your favorite child. I know, right?
But you know that I represent every make and model.
Okay. Well, maybe you can can you give me more than one, or are you just going to plead the fifth on that?
I am going to plead the fifth. I don't think you can go wrong on any vehicle that you might buy from any of our members.
Okay. See, I tried. No, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. And I know better than to press you on that.
It's the most politically correct answer I can
Fair
give.
enough. I'm not here to get anybody in trouble.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much. It's fascinating conversation. Like I said, I'm kind of newer to the auto show and absolutely just loved it. And it's super cool and family friendly and like I said, sensory overload. And it's in the AC, so you don't have to worry about the weather and everything. But
definitely.
So nice to visit with you and to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Pam Crail with the San Antonio Auto Dealers Association. And of course, if you get a chance, stop by the San Antonio Auto Show. Go see Cassandra and everybody over there. Such a good group of people. And the cars are pretty cool, to say the least. So there you have it. All right, another episode of Pickup Lines in the books. Again, it is the talk show in a car, so I figured you would appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We always appreciate the storytelling and the insight and everything, and so we'll do it again very soon. Until next time, I'm Ernie Zuniga. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.